Sorry, I just realized I was on mute. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, June 7th, and you are watching Tuesday Talks. Today, I will, FYI, today's Will's, I think it's Will's first time joining us, so welcome. If you decide down the road, I don't want my image to be a part of this recording, you can turn off your camera, you could still turn on your microphone to ask questions, and so on. Sorry about the delay, folks. Turns out I didn't click on send to send the invitation for today's Tuesday Talks. So I am going to go ahead and get started with, let's see here. There we go. So, sorry, I'm getting messages all over the place. So the first thing I want to cover, especially since Bob Cutlip is here, this morning I had a couple clergy asking about issues with their being able to access their account, whether you cleared the history on your browser, you got a new computer, something went awry, so to get access to your clergy email account again, there's a couple things that might be happening. It may be that you lost your password, and so the problem with going to a new computer is you don't know what your password is because it was saved on your old computer or your old browser. So if all you need is to reset your password, there should be a blue forgot my password link in the login screen when you're going to log in. And I'm going to share my screen to see if I can get to the same place without actually resetting my password. So, and the other thing that could be happening is I don't even know the URL address that I'm supposed to go to access my clergy account. So the URL address is outlook.office.com. So you'd go there, and of course, I'm already logged in. Oh, but this is my school account. So I'm going to sign out, and we'll try it again. Outlook, and notice how I'm entering the URL address at the top in the address bar. That's at the very top. Sometimes the mistake happens. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to sign out. Sorry. I see. I need to sign out of that one first. Sometimes the mistake happens that people will enter the address in here in the search bar instead of up here in the address bar. So if you type it in the search bar, you'll get all sorts of different options to select, and it might not be the right one. So instead, type it up here in the search bar. I mean, not the search bar, in the address bar, outlook.office.com, press enter. And now the new computer or the new browser might not have your email address in there. So just click on use another account, and you would type in, oh, this looks different because it's going to my school account still. Sorry. Let me try it again. Outlook.office.com. Let me try something different. I think I can do, how do I do it? New incognito window. There we go. Now I should be able to start from scratch. Outlook.office.com. Okay, this looks right. So here is where you would enter your clergy email address, and that email address is going to be your first name and last name followed by @dscumc.net. But it's not going to be like if your name is Bob Holiday, for example, but your full name is actually Robert Holiday. Your email address goes by your commonly known first name. So in Bob's case, it would be Bob Holiday @dscumc.net. For me, maybe my commonly known address or name would be Christy instead of Christina. So it'd be Christy Dillabo @dscumc.net. So hopefully that makes sense. And then you'd click next. And of course, this is not me, so it's not going to do it right. I know, we'll just use my actual email address, dillabo@dscumc.org. Then I click next. And then you won't see this part. You'll just, I don't know, you'll see something else that lets you enter the password. This is what you'll see. And so then you would type in your password, and click sign in. But here, if you don't remember your password, this is where the forgot my password link is. If you click on that, then it's going to give you options for how to reset your password, whether it's sending you an email to your backup email account or a text message maybe. I'm not sure what other options. Whatever you entered into your Outlook account as your secondary sign-in information, not sign-in, your account information, that's where it's going to contact you. You'll recognize either your phone number's in there or your personal email address is in there. So that's how you would reset it. If this isn't working for you, you can also send me an email and let me know that I can't reset my password. Can you help me? Then I can reset your password and provide you a temporary password that you'll enter. And then after you log in that first time, Outlook's going to automatically ask you to change your password. So it sounds complicated, but every step of the way, Outlook is going to let you know what to do next. All right, that's it for that. I'm sorry if I made it seem much more confusing by going into my school account over and over again. So hopefully that clarifies how to access your clergy email address or clergy email account. But if you still need help, please send me an email or give me a call. In the Tuesday talks, my cell phone number is always at the bottom of the signature area. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about annual conference. So there's lots of things to cover, unless there's any questions about the clergy email account. Good. Now, Bob, if you need help, we can get in touch later after this Tuesday talk. Okay, so the items to cover. So where is my Zoom join information? Well, that's kind of a complicated question because it could be that you're talking about the clergy executive session, it could be the laity session, or maybe it's the annual conference plenary. So it's a different answer for each. Boom is taking care of all the Zoom join information for all clergy. So if what you're interested in is the executive session, you may need to contact Dee Dee. You can email boom@dscumc.org to ask about if that information has been published yet. I'm not 100% certain on what the schedule is for sending that. They may be sending it the day before it happens so that people don't lose it, getting it way too early. I don't know. For the laity session, we sent those out yesterday, and I will be sending a reminder email on Wednesday morning with the laity join link. And anyone else that wants to join from your church can contact Lori Davalos, Davalos@dscumc.org if they want to participate in the laity session. We will have some, I think that we're going to have some breakout discussions. So that's where it's a little more beneficial to actually join the laity session versus watching the live stream. But the live stream of the laity session will be posted at dscumc.org/AC. Okay, the next question was, why did I get Zoom information if I'm attending in person? So I talked about how you would join the clergy session. You're going to get that information from Boom. How you would join the laity session. You got that information on Monday if you're laity and are a voting member, or if you had already registered for it. So the final thing is for plenary sessions. That Zoom information also was sent to all voting members of annual conference, whether you opted to attend online or in person. And believe it or not, folks, we're getting a lot of requests. Well, it may be 10 requests. For us, it feels like there's a lot of requests because there's been a lot of last minute changes on, I did register to attend in person, but now I need to attend online. You know, it could be because for whatever reason. So to help everyone, both admin side from trying to coordinate a little over 400 different registrations and the 400 plus people that are needing to participate in annual conference, we felt it was best to just share the join information for everyone so that if your circumstance changes that you can't attend in person, you already have the information you need to join us online. So that's why we sent it to everyone. I'm sorry it was a confusing process. You weren't supposed to get the email directly from Zoom the way it happened. I must have not unchecked something, and that's why everybody got that weird panelist email. So check your email account uh, because I sent a follow-up email on Monday as well to explain that about why you got it and all that business. I will be sending a reminder email that'll be much simpler. It's just going to be the join link on June 9th. And that's going to be the same day that you get your voter ID again. If you are a voting member of annual conference and you've registered, you're going to get your voter ID again on June 9th. So that's one day before the conference actually starts. Any questions about that so far? Okay, great. Then next question I have is, how do I turn in my submission for the photo contest, and is there a limit? No limit. Friends, if this is the first time you're hearing about it, we've got a really cool photo contest happening right now, and it's going to go through annual conference. And actually, that was one of the questions, is what's the deadline? On the last day, towards the end of annual conference, I will announce the winners of the photo contest. That's the deadline. It'll be the last day of annual conference near the end. So if I haven't made the announcement yet, you can keep sending us some photos. What type of photos are we looking for? There's 4 different categories, and I'm sorry I don't have the categories in my notes in front of me, but I will include them in the follow-up email for today. Basically, it's things like the ministry of your church. We want to be able to showcase the diversity and amazing impact that our churches are having in their communities and on individuals. So it could be things that are happening in your church or outside of your church in the community. You'll see the themes, and I hope that that will inspire you and give you some ideas like, oh yeah, this event that happened, that would qualify under this theme, or something that's happening this week. Maybe take a photo of it, submit it, because we've got some great prizes. We've got 4 different themes and 4 different prizes for each of those. Well, 1 prize for each theme, so it'll be 4 winners, and the winners are going to be individuals. So it's the people that submit the photos. Let's say I submit photos that my neighbor took, then I need to include in that submission that my neighbor took these photos. So it's actually your neighbor that's going to win the prize, not me, because I sent in the photos. My original assumption was people are submitting their own photos. So please be sure to give photo credit, and that would be the person that wins the prize. But these prizes are all intended to impact your church's digital ministry. So we've got a Mevo camera. It's kind of a high-end live streaming camera that makes it really easy for a church to start live streaming or have a second setup for live stream without having to have a ton of equipment. Another one is a podcasting suite for a 2-person podcast. So, you know, if your church is doing any type of maybe it's a Bible study or some type of a community discussion where you want to be able to interview someone and share their thoughts together at the same time. This podcast kit allows you to have 2 microphones as part of the recording. It's a really pretty good quality kit. Another one is, what is it called? It is it starts with a G, and it's basically a handheld cell phone holder that you would run your cell phone's video camera on this device, and there's an app that you would download to run this device. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it. But what it does is it stabilizes your phone. So you could walk around, like imagine you have, maybe you're giving out food to the community, you're having a barbecue for the community, whatever, you want to be able to capture that on video and show footage for VBS. This would be a great promotional piece to walk through VBS holding your camera or your phone and through this device, and it's keeping it steady so you don't have a shaky video in the end. You might be shaky, climbing up stuff or whatever, but your camera will stay level the whole time. It's a really great piece of equipment. Let's see, what's the fourth one? The fourth one, I don't remember, so it's going to be a surprise. Stay tuned. I'll announce it. But you know what? In the follow-up email, I'll include links to each of these things so you can see it and get a better idea, because I can see it now in my mind. I can't remember. Anyway, I'll send you a link. And that fourth one's a really, really cool one too. That I even have a video to demo how it works. It's all going to potentially add all sorts of value to your digital ministry at your church. But I do want to be clear that so if I win it, I'm the one that's winning that device. It's not my church that's winning it. It's kind of a way of encouraging maybe new people to participate, to start volunteering at your church, because now they've got this device that they know I can make an impact at my church. I can learn how to use this, and I can be a new volunteer. I can ease my way into it. So hopefully it's a win-win for everyone, and it's enough to inspire someone to turn in their photography. Let's see what else. So the question was, how do I turn in my submission for the photo contest, and is there a limit? You can either email communications@dscumc.org with the photos attached, or you can share them on social media and use the hashtag DSACFun, and I'll just grab the photos from there. Either way, please include which theme the photo is submitted for. So if you've got 4 different photos for each of the themes, feel free to send me 4 different emails so that it's clear which photo is for which theme. Okay, questions about that? Okay, then how do I register for the Laity Session or another part of annual conference? So we're still getting registrations happening still. So, but the registration links are no longer up on the website. That's because we now need to really micromanage and be vigilant of who has registered and who hasn't registered, because some people have already received their voter ID and Zoom information. So we need to differentiate and know who are the new registrants, so we can now send you your voter ID and Zoom links. So to do that, you'll need to contact Lori Davalos. That's Davalos@dscumc.org. Send her an email and letting her know what part of annual conference you need to register for. If you are a lay person that just wants to join the Laity Session, or I am a voting member, I'm the lay member of my church, I need to attend the plenary and laity, let her know that as well. That'll save her some time from looking you up in our database. Questions about that? Okay, then next question is, it's not too late to turn in, oh, it's not a question, it's a comment, that it's not too late to turn in your mission offering totals to Billy Fidlin at bfidlin@dscumc.org. She's going to be asking Randy for reports about what's been turned in, so that'll be helpful. But in case somebody, maybe if a church mailed in a check with their offering, that might take a little, like if they're just sending it now, Randy wouldn't be including your church's check total in his report to Billy. So that's why it's important to connect with Billy, let her know, oh, my church is blah, 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 and here's what we sent in. We just sent in a check. So she can add that total in the annual conference report about the missions project during annual conference, and we can celebrate the amazing giving that's happening and the impact that's sure to come. Questions about that? Okay. Last thing is about the voter ID. So I kind of sort of already went over this. We sent out the voter IDs on Monday, but those only went out to voting members. They went out via email from GNTV, and I'll include the email address to search up in your email account. If you didn't see it on Monday, it might be in your junk folder or your spam folder, but you're also going to get it again on June 9th. So, don't freak out if you didn't see it and you searched and you didn't find it. We're going to send it again on June 9th, but it would be great for you guys to let me know or let Lori Davalos know that you're a voting member, you searched for that voter ID and you didn't see it. So we want to figure out what happened. What if we have a typo in your email address? I mean, that could happen. We're only human. So please send us an email and give us an alert so we know to look it up and get it resolved so you do get it in the June 9th reminder of your voter ID. Questions about that? No? Okay, then that's everything I was going to cover. Go ahead, Sherry.
All right, I have a couple of things I wanted to bring up just to bring to your attention. Maybe it was only me. But the reason I had thought that I needed to be there on Thursday, it's because when I pulled up the agenda, I knew that I had seen something like this. It says 4 to 6 is registration on Thursday. So I interpreted that to mean that I needed to be there between 4 and 6 on Thursday to register. I also see that on Friday morning as well, that you go to the registration desk. But I don't know if anybody else is asking that or not, but that's why I had assumed that I needed to be there on Thursday evening for that. So there's that. And the other thing was, for all of you, I could not find the agenda, and you had sent me an email and said it was at the top, and I'm looking at it and I can't. Finally, I found it at the bottom. The reason I found it at the bottom is because I was on an iPad and it squeezed it. And so I kept looking at all these other things I was clicking on, looking for an agenda inside of that. When you said it's at the top, I still couldn't find it. So with me being lame that I didn't scroll down all the way to the bottom, but when you said it's there, I thought that's when I finally just scrolled all the way to the bottom. And so just for clarification, just in case, sorry, I got a dog here, just in case he suddenly needed me. Somebody else has that. That's what it is. So presumably then we can pick up whatever packet it is on Thursday morning, or excuse me, Friday morning, as opposed to Thursday evening.
Yes, that is correct. Thank you, Sherry. I totally forgot about that one. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and show. So on a laptop, and I'm sorry that I assume that everybody's using a laptop, and obviously we're not. Many people are using their phones. So on a laptop, the agenda is right here. I may need to switch things around somehow so that it shows up higher on other devices, but yeah, maybe I'll include it in a button up here. And then, so the agenda is there. You can download it. You'll see there's actually some really cool things, like even a basketball pickup session at the Mesa UMC gym. I don't know if there's any prizes awarded for that. I do know that we're going to have a first aid kit available and probably water bottles or something. But I think it's just kind of a free time. One of the values for this year's annual conference is to make it fun. So that was one of the ideas that came in and was doable. So be sure to take a good look at the agenda and see what's going on for annual conference. The official dates of annual conference are June 10th through 11th. The clergy session, laity session happen on June 8th, online only. Alrighty, oops, didn't do that. Any other questions or comments anybody wants to share? Okay, then I have one last thing to tell you guys, but she's not going to be able to join us today. I wanted to announce that we have a new staff person in the communications department. I'm really excited and I can't wait to introduce you guys. Those of you that will be attending annual conference in person will get to meet her. Her name is Koddie Becker. That's Koddie Becker. And she's going to start joining us for Tuesday talks starting next week. This week we're just too busy with annual conference prep, so she's busy on some projects, and so she'll join us next week. Anyway, I hope that you all get a chance to welcome her if you happen to come in person, and if you ever stop by the conference office or think of sending her a welcome email maybe, that would all be greatly appreciated. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope I get to see you at annual conference. Keep in mind that this annual conference is very different than any annual conference we've had ever in the history of the Desert Southwest Conference. We are meeting online. We've done that before, but we're also meeting in person, and the in-person edition wasn't like from the very beginning. It was kind of a last minute addition. Normally we start planning for annual conference in February. Switching to including in person along with online didn't happen, I think, until March. There was the day that there was some presidential announcement. I think it was like maybe March 10th or March something or other. Um, I think we planned for annual conference even earlier than February. I think our first meeting is in February. Anyway, the point is, we were all set to go with online, and then we switched to, what, maybe we can give people the option. So it's going to be very, very different. I'm certain there will be some hiccups. Um, we're trying to work through all that already, and annual conference hasn't even started. So well in advance of the time that it comes, I want to thank you all for the grace that you will all undoubtedly have to extend to us as we try to make it through this annual conference and provide everything that you're looking for, the inspiration, the plenary, like business parts, the celebrations of ordination, the difficult moments in the memorial services, um, the excitement of getting to see each other, and the loss for those that will not be able to join us in person and will be joining online. You know, everywhere that you look at this annual conference session, it's going to be very different. It's going to be exciting and heartbreaking for everyone. So, um, thank you for your grace, and thank you for joining me today for a Tuesday talk. I'm excited to see you guys next week or later this week, maybe, and Tuesday talk next week. Don't forget to keep sending me your questions. I've got a great announcement to tell you about. I'm just going to tell you real quick. We're going to be adding a new component to Tuesday Talks that it's coming down the road, not too far from now. I'm going to mostly make a big deal about it during annual conference, but instead of hearing me talking all the time, one of the new things we're going to add to annual conference is this will be your church's opportunity, your communicator's opportunity to share with the rest of us about some exciting ministry that's happening, some incredible news, something that is newsworthy. This is your chance to pitch that story. We want to hear heart stories. What is transformative in your community that your church is a part of? Any partnerships that you're doing, pitch those stories and we can get them published in the conference news outlets. We might even create a press release to pitch to reporters in your area. You don't have to do anything. Just pitch the story. Tell me about what's going on. I'll contact you after Tuesday talks, follow up, we'll write a story and get it out there. So you don't even have to write it. If you write it, that'd be great. But you don't have to. Pitch the story, tell me about it. So that's one of the new things that's coming down the road. So that's cat out of the bag. Now you know. But spread the word, and I will see you guys either annual conference or next week on Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. Have a great rest of your day.